It's ready.
All right, so welcome back. I think most of you have attended at least one session, so I won't go into the introductions of Tessa and I again, but I will turn it over to our fire representative who will introduce himself, tell a little bit about working for the department, and then the firefighter position that they have open now that they're currently recruiting for. So take it away.
Well, thank you, Sheila.
You're
My
welcome.
name is Assistant Chief Michael Rios. I'm in charge of the administrative side of Clarksville Fire Rescue. I've been here for 19 years. I started out as a firefighter and did that for 5.5 years, moved on up to the rescue truck, did that for 7 years, and then engineer for 3, then moved to the fire prevention side as a lieutenant, fire inspector, investigator, then moved up to captain to where I am today as chief of administration. So I'm blessed. I love what I do. With that being said, we are accepting applications for firefighters until July 30th. And this is a great opportunity to, in my opinion, join the best department in the city. So we are looking for highly motivated individuals with a good head on their shoulders. Basically, give back to the city where we live. Firefighters start out at $38,254. Some of the benefits we offer is a state retirement plan, paid vacations, paid vacation leave. We're not giving you a vacation. Medical, dental insurance, sick leave, longevity. And then we also provide you with all the tools and training. Right now, we give you a $400 allowance per year for uniforms. And then we also offer military, National Guard, reserve leave. One of the biggest draws to the fire department is our work schedule. So we work 24 hours on, then we're off for 48. So once a month, you get a day off. So in a month's time, you work 9 days a month, if you look at it that way. And every day is different. You never know what you're going to get called to do. And it's a great job, great career. I mean, if any of this interests you, please do not hesitate to apply. That's it. Any questions so far?
Yes, sir. I have one.
Okay.
In regards to, I applied twice because I had to go back and fix something. So you'll probably see 2 applications from me. I also messaged you all on Facebook just asking what I need to do physically and mentally to prepare. Physically, I'm not too concerned. It's more of the test. So I printed off a test that the Nashville Fire had on their website. I'm not sure if it's the same or if it's like, around about the same in regards to just looking at the comprehension, the math questions, and just stuff like that. So I'm just, I don't know if you have anything that I could get study guide wise.
We send you a sample of what the test is going to consist of. I'm not sure what the study guide you received. Is there a lot of fire involved?
So they don't have the study guide yet.
Okay.
That will be on the second email. So
Gotcha.
We spoke a little bit earlier, but that has not gone out yet. It will go out. And then actually, if you could also speak about the physical agility, like practice test, because I think a lot of people found that very helpful the first time you guys did that.
And we're going to do that again this year, have a practice day. We're going to do it once in June and once in July. Right now, the tentative date is June 12th. And Miss Sheila will send out an email to notify everybody, and we'll put it on our social media. So June 12th and July 10th, we'll have a practice day where we run you through our physical agility course. And that's what really gets most people. So it's basically 6 different evolutions. The first part is turn the hydrant on, turn it 8 evolutions, then run and grab like a 100-foot section of hose, run 150 feet, then go to the forcible entry simulator, which is like a sled. You hit it with a sledgehammer, move it back about 8 feet, and then you crawl through our attic simulator, and then you run up the tower, pull up a hose, put it in a box, and then the biggest thing is the dummy drag. So you climb down the tower, grab a 165-pound dummy and drag it 100 feet. And you have to do all that within 8 minutes. So that's why we give people an opportunity to practice to see where you might be lacking. And with everything, there's always tips and tricks. We give you some hints and try to help you out with that. So definitely, once we have that practice, do show up and get a couple runs in.
Yes, sir. They messaged me telling me about the practice
Okay.
for the thing, so I was like already like prepared to do that because I was wondering like because I just needed to know like should I come by, should I volunteer, what do I need to do, what like because this is definitely something that I'm very serious about and want to do because being out of the military, I definitely miss the brotherhood, the adrenaline rush, and just the command structure. Being a civilian is great, but there are certain things that I do miss about the military.
And we are a paramilitary organization, so a lot of that structure and brotherhood is there. And that's what a lot of people like about our department.
I'm going to interject. You touched on the benefits earlier and the vacation time. Your department is unique in how they when they get their vacation time and how they use it. So can you speak a little bit to that, since it's different from everybody else in the city?
Okay, all the firefighters on shift, we pick vacation time by seniority in December for the next year. So within that year, you accrue, I can't remember how much, what is it, 24 hours? I can't hear you.
Oops, I didn't unmute. It's basically a day a month. It's 12 days for the fire shift and 12 hours for the fire shift and 8 for everyone else, but it works out to a day per month.
Yeah. And with that, you pick all that in December, so you know your whole schedule for the whole year. So you know your days off. Well, you know your work cycle, so you're off every third day. So you can account for vacation time, and every cycle you get a day off. So it's kind of confusing, but if you do it right, you can have a vacation and it's called a Kelly day. You get one Kelly day per work cycle. So if you put all that together, it's a good chunk of time off.
Yeah, HR says, are they still working here or are they gone? Just kidding, but yes, and you earn that, you actually get that leave time for vacation dumped on the front end rather than the rest of us that earn it as we go and have it accumulate month to month. For fire, it's dumped at the beginning of the year just so they can make sure that all the shifts are covered. Because unlike, if I'm out for work, it may cause a little extra work for my coworkers, or it just waits till I get back. It's not catastrophic. If a firefighter is out and there's not someone to cover, that literally can mean someone's life. So they want to have as much preparation on the front end as they can.
I had a question about testing.
Okay.
So I hear you guys talking about testing. I completed the fire academy in 2013 before I joined the Marine Corps. I was wondering if that counts, or how does that work?
It really depends on if it's IFSAC certified, and where did you do your certifications at, or your test?
I went to Lansing Community College in Michigan.
Okay. Do you know if it's firefighter 1, firefighter?
It's firefighter 1, firefighter 2, and I believe one other one I can't remember off the top of my head.
It really depends on what state, and if it's IFSAC certified, it's able to transfer to Tennessee.
Okay.
But
Okay,
you still have to go through, we'll look at it. It's case by case basis. Most of the time you still have to go through basic. You just don't have to get, do you have hazmat operations or awareness?
I do have hazmat, yes.
Okay. So a lot of that time you go through the academy just to see how we do things. It might be different. I'm not sure how long ago that was, but each department does their department different.
Absolutely. Okay.
And the academy is like a big bonding experience with all the recruits. So that's a good aspect to it also.
Absolutely. Thank you for that answer.
Sir, I just have a question, sir.
Yes, sir.
And I ran into a representative from your organization last week on Fort Campbell at the job fair. And I know he talked about the next academy date or time slot was in December, correct?
It really depends on the need. Right now, we're short 3 people. So we're looking at the budget and see how many more employees we get in the budget. So we'll play it by ear. So this whole hiring process takes a while because you have to open up the applications and do the written and do the physical. So it takes a minute just to get everybody in, give everybody the opportunity to test.
All right, thank you, sir. Well, I was told I need to work on my patience, so this will help.
Gotcha.
That would be all of us. So will you also speak to the hiring list, since it was mentioned that it's a lengthy process, and if you pass everything but we don't have an opening at that time, can you speak to that?
Yeah, the hiring list. I mean, if you accomplish everything, you pass everything, and you go through after the physical agility test is the board interview, then you're ranked from there, then you move on to the chief's interview. And then once you get to the chief, he puts you on a ranking list, and that's how we hire from that list. So if you don't get picked up, we keep that list for a year. So if there's any openings, that's what we pull from. Did I answer all your questions? Any other questions? Did you, ladies and gentlemen, apply yet? You put in an application?
Yes, sir, I have. You'll see 2 from me because I had to go in and add some stuff.
Okay.
And same.
He won't see
I put
two.
in an application.
Yeah.
I just
Awesome.
want to be honest up front.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dietrich, I got you. He won't see 2. He'll only see the most recent one that you put in.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Sheila will take care of you.
Yeah. And just that's an aside that goes for any position. So typically, if you've put in more than one application, the most recent, but if there's been some time between, Tessa may be different, but I'm only looking forward, so I don't go look back. If I didn't recognize your name or physically see it in that section, then it won't get forwarded on a second time, typically, but sometimes, they squeak through. But if it's apparent and it's pretty close and they're right there together, then only the most recent one would get sent, because we figure that that's the most up-to-date one. So, we don't have questions while people are thinking of questions. Maybe speak to how many fire departments we have, where they are. I don't know if there's anything unique about one or the other, how you get assigned to one.
Yeah.
Just more general information
Gotcha.
working for the department.
So our stations are staggered across the city. We have 12 stations. They're really in certain locations. What we try to aim for is getting to the emergency within 5 minutes. So that's why we put the stations in the certain locations, and we gauge it from there. Some stations have an engine. Some have an engine and a rescue. Some have a ladder. And then we recently created a technical rescue team. So once you get through firefighter and EMR, which is the next level, or engineer, you can get to the rescue squad, which is all the fun and cool stuff. If you ask me, I did that for 7 years. And right now they're out training high angle rescue, hanging from ropes, and they do all the technical stuff. They call themselves squad. So they stay busy. They will be busy. And then we have a boat team. So a lot of the holidays, we send out crews to monitor the Cumberland, basically. For Memorial Day, we'll be out there. 4th of July, any major holiday like Riverfest, we'll be out there patrolling just in case. Or sometimes we get calls to respond for a boat broken down or a possible drowning. We go out there to see if we can assist, help out. And then we have a swift water team out at Station 10, which is off at Needmore. A lot of the waterways, the Blue Way, we have our swift water team that responds to those. A lot of kayakers and people just playing in the rivers. A lot of flooding. So we try to be prepared for anything in the city. That's what makes us who we are. Fire and rescue. We don't only do fires, we do rescue. Most of our calls, like 95% of our calls, are medical. So I think last year we had about 15,000 calls per year. And then in that, we had about 112 house fires. So 15,000 to 112. The rest is car wrecks, medical calls, and calls for assistance. So we do everything, basically.
I have a question again, sir.
Go ahead.
For the fire rescue teams, which sounds like a lot of fun, does everybody kind of have their speciality, like how the like Spec Ops world has like some guys specialized in high altitude or scuba diving or certain things like that? Because I saw some pictures of everybody rappelling, which looked like a lot of fun. So I didn't know if you like had certain people that go to training for different, like to be on the boat team, maybe get certified in like combat lifesaver or what have you, sir.
All of that. So our technical rescue team, we have 12 individuals and 3 alternates. So right now they're all doing the high angle rescue training together. So we have 3 different shifts, which gives us 24 on and 48 off. So there's 3 different shifts to do that. So on every shift, there's 4 people on the technical rescue squad. So anything big, house fire, large extrication, rescue, they respond. And then everybody else is trained to awareness level. So they give them instructions and they basically help out all the firefighters and EMRs and everybody else. Same with the boat team. You have technical training, fire investigators, fire inspectors. You don't have to come into the fire service knowing, well, I'm sure David has experience, but you don't have to know anything. We train you. We put you through a 12-week academy. We teach you everything from first aid, CPR to hazmat, how to put on the gear. We teach you everything. So once you take that oath, you're ready to respond to anything.
All right, thank you, sir. Yeah, I was just wondering because like you would send people off for like special training just to level up their skill. So if somebody was certified or expert in like diving, you guys say it was like a flood or something like that, or like high angle rescue or like rappel master, because I know the Army has like they would send people for like, so I wasn't sure if the fire department was also kind of like in that same kind of like mindset as well, sir.
Yeah. We are, but you basically have to start at the bottom as a firefighter and then work your way up. But we take this past class, we had a dive instructor. So we're aware of that. So once we're talking about a dive team eventually. So once that happens, we'll definitely ask him see if he wants to participate or help instruct, or we just play it it's case by case basis.
Okay, awesome.
Matt, did you have a question?
You actually ended up answering it by answering his, so I appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you for the question.
So I'll say that police and fire work closely together on some of the calls that you go out on. Do you want to briefly speak about that? Anything to say about that?
I mean, we do all the time. It's kind of like a rivalry, but we're friends. a lot of my friends work at the police department, and just like a bunch of people delivered donuts this morning, and they were mad because we got them first and before they did, type of thing. But we work hand in hand. So if they're on a call and they need our support, we have our rescue team there, and vice versa. So if we have a fire, they're there for crowd control, drag hose and all that. So we're all friends, and what they need, we're there, and vice versa. A lot of being a fire inspector, fire investigator, anytime there's a fire and we deem it might be an arson, we call their investigators because it's a crime, and they deal with all the investigations, and that they're trained to a higher level, and they have arresting powers where we don't as of yet, but we're working on that. So we all go to the same classes for arson investigations and inspections that they do.
I have another question, sir. When you guys are called onto a fire, are the cops there to like do crowd control and like security and stuff like that? Because I remember one incident where like I think I heard in the news where EMTs were up on the scene and they kind of got ambushed and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know how big that is here in Clarksville. That was like another major city somewhere else, so I wasn't sure like if you guys have protocols and stuff like that here, type of thing.
We do. It really depends on what the call needs. So if there's a fire or could be a domestic in progress or possible shooter, we let them go in first because, I mean, we have bulletproof vests, but we don't have guns. So we let them secure the scene and then we approach. So we couldn't do what we do without them, type of thing, and vice versa.
All right. Thank you very much, sir.
No problem. And anytime there's a missing person, search and rescue, it's always the police department, sheriff's department, EMS, us, rescue squad. We're always working, and whether it be with the dog. I mean, we don't have dogs, but we have the drones, drone search.
Brittany, I see that you have a question. Feel free to go ahead and unmute yourself.
Yeah. Hey, y'all. So I was wondering, Mr. Rios, I come from a social work background, and I was wondering maybe if there's opportunity in the department for individuals with the social work background in terms of de-escalation or trauma-informed care and things of that nature.
Yes, ma'am. We have a group. They sent me a text today. They're in training in Chattanooga for de-escalation and all that. Sorry. But you do have to start at the bottom and work yourself up. But if there's a spot where we could use you, whether you're a social worker or electrician or plumber, we definitely take in your skill set and plug you in where needed. So that's always a benefit. We don't just want hardcore firefighters. We take everybody. That makes having a diverse department makes us a better department, type of thing. That only makes us stronger.
So you guys are the only department that you actually live together for 24 hours. So what is it like living at the firehouse? You know, can your family visit? Is it off limits to them? What does that look like? Because that's like, you have to do that.
Yeah, it's different. I mean, you work every third day. So basically a third of your life, you're with this family. We call each other family because that's basically what we are. This is a family away from our family type of thing. So we eat together, sleep together. We do have bunks, and after 10 o'clock, lights out, and you go to sleep as long as we don't have any calls. In between there, we can have visitors from, I think it's 11 to 1, and then from like 5 to, I think, 9 o'clock, we allow visitors. So as long as they're, COVID changed everything, but now we're open back up and we allow visitors. So your family or friends could come visit you, show them the truck and give them a little tour. And if you guys want to stop by, we'll give you a tour also, if you have any questions.
What is it like when you get probies? I'm sure it's a lot different than being a brand new cherry private in the Army. I'm sure it's not the hazing and the smoking isn't quite like the same.
I mean, it's.
Be careful how you answer that.
Oh, I am. I mean, it's changed
All
since.
ears.
I know.
It's
Forgive
changed
me,
since
sir.
back in
I
the
didn't mean
day.
to. I didn't mean to blast you like that. I was
No.
just. I didn't. I was just. Yeah. I apologize.
No. I mean, we're all aware of HR and all that. So our policies and procedures have changed from the 1950s and 70s to where we are today. So we look at everything, and I mean, you're a brand new recruit, so we train you how we think you should be treated and take you under our wings. So when the call is there, you're not distraught or worried about being ambushed or always worried about pranks being pulled on you. We're always ready to work, but we do have fun also. So that's a good question.
Roger. Yeah. I was just curious, sir. I mean, you're talking to a private who got tased in the neck by his squad leaders. So different times. But yeah.
Yeah. Any other questions?
I'm going to keep the questions going because we have time. So
Okay.
I'm sure it's not a big part of the department, but you do have an honor guard there. I've seen people,
We do.
that participate. So you want to talk about that?
Honor guard, especially prior military. Once you get your firefighter 1, firefighter 2, we open it up to whoever wants to try out. We have tryouts. We do everything from parades to, we just had a big funeral from our retired deputy chief, is a good friend of mine. We like to do it right. The department is always about tradition and pride, and we pride ourselves on being professional and treating others like they should be treated. So the honor guard, especially having a military background, know how to march and do all your turns and all that, you should be a shoe-in. Because I didn't have that military background, and I had to practice, and I jacked it up so many times, but I eventually made it. It's really an honor.
An individual in our chat stated that she lives across the street from the fire department and they are always so sweet.
Oh, thank you.
That's sweet.
Who's that? Maya? Maya, where do you live?
Maya.
I stay off of Dover Road.
Okay. Yeah, that's one of the busiest parts of town. Dover, I'm not sure because of the car wrecks or all that, but they're one of the busier stations. So,
Yeah, they're always on the go. I hear that siren so many times a day.
oh yeah, and I'll pass it on to them. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Sir, I have another question if nobody else does.
Go ahead.
I don't want to be a
Thank you.
hog.
Oh, you're fine.
So like I know some days, like back in the Army days, like if we weren't like in the field doing like team and squad live fires, we'd be back at the company either doing paperwork, which I love, or just like hip pocket training, like going over battle drills and stuff like that. So I don't know, like if we're on shift, are we like, I know we got to make sure our gear is ready, the trucks are ready, like kind of like QRF status. But in between those times, are we doing like, you know, is there like certain kind of trainings, or just like the guys who've been there for a while, like giving us like wisdom and knowledge and just tips and tricks and stuff like
Oh,
that?
yeah. So on a normal day, we come in, we check out our gear, make sure all our gear is on the trucks, check out the trucks. We live there, so we clean the station. We have normal duties that we have to do every day. Mondays and Thursdays might be mow the grass, might be clean the windows, mop the floor. Uh, Coming in as a rookie, you'll be probably cleaning bathrooms. That's just a rite of passage type of thing. Yeah, I mean, I did the same thing for a long time. So once you graduate from that, you just move on to, like, you did something, you get to sweep the floor. Awesome. So, but from there, we do yearly training throughout the department. On top of that, each station, you'll have a instructor. Well, all of our lieutenants are fire instructor certified, so they're going to teach you something every day. You're always doing training. I mean, we do have downtime, but there's always something to train on, and we try to prepare you for everything. Back in the old days, there was a lot of sitting around smoking cigarettes and playing cards. That really doesn't happen anymore unless you get everything done and all the training is accomplished, type of thing. Because you really have to rest up in order, just in case a call does, especially on like a stormy night, you might be busy like throughout the night, so no sleep. So you got to almost prepare for that.
All right, sir. Yes. Yeah, I'm no stranger to cleaning bathrooms, that's for sure. Yeah, I wasn't sure if people like went to school to learn about like the physiology of fires and how they start, like all that. Like, so I mean, that's cool stuff to learn and stuff that I don't know. And I'm just, you know, I would think being a firefighter, it would behoove of us to know the makeup and character of a fire and like all that stuff.
You learn all that in your fire academy, just the basic knowledge. Then from there, once you get firefighter 2 certified, we pay for you to get more education. So if you want to get fire instructor 1, fire officer 1, and fire officer 2, whatever, as long as we have the funding, we're going to send you to get more training. Makes you a better firefighter and makes our department better.
I'm definitely all about that. Yes, sir.
Cool. Go ahead, Matt.
So you do 24 on, 48 off. Is there, I know with like the police department, they have like mandatory overtime, or other positions and other departments have people who are on call. Is that ever something, is it strictly just for 48 and that's about it? Or is there times where that structure will change because of natural disasters or just anything?
Yeah, that's a good question. So it's always 24 on and 48 off, unless there's 10 people, like with COVID, there's so many people out. So we might ask for volunteers to come in on your Kelly day, come in on your day off to get the extra money because we need the manpower. Or if there's a tornado or a natural disaster, we're going to call in the shift previous to come in and help out, type of thing. So there's always that opportunity that you might be on call. And then once you get to like fire inspector, fire investigator, we rotate who's on call. So you might be on call for 1 week and then it just goes up the line. So if any fires come in, dispatch will be calling you. But that's down the road. Do we have another?
Sir, I have another question, sir. I was wondering, like, do you guys like California always seems to be on fire. So I don't know if you like surrounding states or anything like that, if you guys like push like people out to help other states, or is that like way outside? Because obviously there's like tons of states between us and California, so I wasn't sure like if you push like certain people or shifts out to other states to help out if need be.
Yeah, like during the wildfires in Pigeon Forge, we sent a crew out there to help out. And right now we're getting all this specialized training that is required so we can go assist for hurricanes and all that, maybe go to California. So there's certain training classes that you have to do, and we're trying to check those boxes to make sure we are prepared just in case we do get requested to go somewhere or we want to go help out somewhere.
We are almost out of time. So if you have any last minute questions, now would be the time to ask. And I don't know if most of you are interested or on here because you're interested in being a firefighter, but please reach out to us, Tessa and I, more so I, because I'll be reviewing the applications, but send an email to the same email address that you got your links from and let us know that, yes, I'm interested in the position. And yes, I was at the job fair. We want to take note of that. So if you have any last minute questions, we've got like 2 minutes. Go ahead and ask those questions now.
I do have one more if nobody else minds. It's kind of a silly question, but I'm gonna ask anyway. I mean, do you get a lot of people in the fire department who grew up like watching like Rescue Me or get brainwashed by 911 and thinking like that's like how, because I had a lot of soldiers that came in that grew up watching certain war movies thinking this is how the Army is, and then they get very disappointed to find out that it's not as glamorous and not as sexy as Hollywood makes it seem to be.
Yeah. I mean, I tend to watch some of those shows now and I'm baffled by what happens. And like, why would you do that? We would never do that type of thing. So coming in with these, I mean, it's not all saving babies and getting the ladies type of thing. Sometimes it sucks and you're cold and it's wet and that's just part of the job. It's not all, I mean, people die type of thing and you see stuff that other people don't see. So you got to realize what you're getting yourself into, and it's not all glamorous.
Yeah, yes, sir. I'm tracking. Yeah, they don't show you in the back 40 of Fort Campbell when it's raining and storming, doing team live fires and falling down in the mud. Yeah, they don't show that stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, we train a lot, and we train a lot in different environments and weather. And if it's nice and sunny, we'll train. If it's cold and snowy, we'll train also, because that's what we get called in.
Awesome. So I want to thank everybody. We are right on the wire for police. Hopefully some of you will stay for that. But I want to thank you for your questions and for participating, and great session.
Yeah.
Looking forward to seeing the applications.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir. I look forward to seeing you again, sir.